guys, what's going on? Okay, got another boxing highlight video for you. One of the greatest ever, also one of my favorites of all time, of course, Floyd Mayweather. I believe these highlights are some of his early fights and some of his later ones, and in the middle there, like in 2005, 2004, that era. And hopefully we just get a good mix because he was a real kind of somewhat aggressive fighter back in the early years, back up until maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 2005 or 6 or so, I would say. So the first 10 years of his career, he was pretty aggressive, and he just stopped being so aggressive towards then, and he was just more of a counter puncher, but he would actually go after people early on pretty well. But hey, always a defensive genius, always very good offensively. Never had that one punch power, of course, but just crazy combinations, lightning, hand speed, and just probably the best technical boxer there's ever been, really, because he just did everything right. You know, he could use his reflexes, of course, but he always could fall back on his just technical defensive skills. Of course, the shoulder roll he used just absolutely perfect, and he always kept his hands up. It's such a basic thing, but a lot of great gifted fighters never really did that a lot. They just relied solely on their reflexes, and then when that was gone, when they started to fade, that was it. They were pretty much done because they had never used just a technical defense of keeping your hands up, of shoulder rolling, just the basic defensive moves. And Mayweather had that down to a T. Uh, so, like I say, he could rely on his reflexes a lot of times, and he did, and that worked out perfect for him usually. But, in the cases where if he would have started to fade, reflex wise, he could have always fell back on those great defensive skills, the technical defensive skills that he had. So, anyway, just a great counterpuncher, make you miss, make you pay, just set people up. You could see him just thinking 10 steps ahead of people in the ring a lot of times. You could just see his mind just turning, basically. He was just amazing to watch. I know people give him shit because he was in boring fights, people say. I don't ever think he was in a boring fight. I always love to watch him fight. I appreciate the technical side of boxing more than some people do. Some people just want to knock down, drag out fight. You know, those are very exciting, of course, but you can go to your local bar and see that type of stuff. He is probably the most skillful fighter we have ever seen in 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 boxing, for sure. I would say there's really no doubt. From the technical side, and as a way of just doing everything right, always keeping your hands up, always using that shoulder roll defense, and just a perfect fighter. He's 50-0, so like I say, a lot of people give him a lot of give him a lot of crap for people he fought when he fought them and stuff. But he fought a lot of guys. He fought a few people before Pacquiao did, and he beat him before Pacquiao did, and Pacquiao beat him at a disadvantage. And there were some people that Pacquiao fought before him, and he beat him, and so on and so on. But we saw what happened when Pacquiao and Mayweather fought. Mayweather just dominated him. He outclassed him in every way. The fight was not close at all, and he walked away with the win, as he always did. But anyway, guys, yeah, let's just get into this. Let me know if you want. This is offensive highlights. I guess this same guy did a defensive video of Mayweather, so let me know if you want to see that. That'd be nice to see some of Floyd's great defensive moves. So anyway, let's just get into it, guys. And I've seen every one of Mayweather's fights, so I will. I will kind of call out what's going on. I've seen him many times. Like I say, I'm a boxing fanatic, have been for quite a while. But yeah, I've seen every one of his pro fights and even a few of his amateur fights. So I've seen these clips quite a few times. But anyway, so there's Ricky Hatton. He knocked him out in the 10th round. Uh, just absolutely dominated him too. Hatton had some. He didn't really land anything significant in that fight. He kind of rushed him some, but Mayweather was always in control. So, but anyway, there's Juan Manuel Marquez. He beat him, but that was his first fight back in almost 2 years after the Hatton fight. There's De La Hoya. I don't know why some people thought that fight was close. He absolutely dominated De La Hoya. Um, but there's Marquez again. So these are some later clips, of course. That Corrales fight, that was back in 2001. So they're just showing all kinds of things. There's Miguel Cotto. That was another dominating performance. Some idiots had that one close somehow. That was, about I don't know, 11 rounds to 1, 12 to nothing fight, I thought. Maybe 10 to 2 at the closest. But I mean, he dominated all these guys. The closest fight Floyd ever had. Oh, wow. Gennaro Hernandez, that's his first title win back in 98. And he made Hernandez quit on his stool after the eighth round. So, yep, I mean, you can tell that's a very young Floyd. He would have only been, let's see, 21 years old at that time. And there's the Cotto fight again, and he's letting the combinations go. And Cotto's, oh wow, that was the Gotti fight. There's Hatton. He's just giving Hatton a beating. Look at that. Just crazy speed, crazy accuracy. Gaddy, he could not have missed him if he tried with a punch. Gaddy did not land one clean punch in that fight, the 6 round fight. He also retired on his stool after 6 rounds. His corner stopped it. I don't think he wanted to stop it. But there's the Jose Luis Castillo. And people mistakenly think he struggled against Castillo in the first fight. They did have a rematch. Floyd beat him clearly, which he beat him clearly the first time as well, but he did beat him more significantly the second time. There's Gotti again. There's Pacquiao. Um, but yeah, I mean the thing is, oh, there's Angel Manfredi. That's also 98. That was after the title win. This was his first title defense. But yeah, he stopped him in the second round. Some people thought that was kind of early, but Manfredi was kind of out on his feet there, if I remember correctly. And oh, wow, Diego Corrales, just a wonderful, amazing performance. That's really what kind of put him, I guess, on the map to the mainstream. That was in 2001, and Corrales was undefeated at the time. And, Floyd just went in there and dominated him. I mean, Corrales had absolutely no answer for anything Floyd could do. Took him 10 rounds. He knocked him down 5 times in the fight before Corrales' corner, his father, finally threw the towel in. Wow, a lot of guys Floyd fought are dead now. Gennaro Hernandez, Arturo Gotti, of course, Diego Corrales. That's crazy. And there's De La Hoya. He dominated him too. I had that fight about 10 rounds to 2 for Mayweather, and some idiot judge had it a draw, I know. Or no, some judge had De La Hoya winning the fight, actually. I do not know how that's possible. But anyway, there's Marquez. I believe he knocked him down in the third round in that fight, but he did take him the distance. Like I say, that was his first fight back since the Hatton fight in 2007. This was in 2009. And of course, this is the guy that, Pacquiao struggled with. At that point, it was, I believe, 2 times that he had fought Pacquiao at that time. So, yeah, their first fight was in 2004 and then 2008. Of course, they would go on to fight 2 more times after that. And Marquez did eventually knock Pacquiao out cold in 2012, I believe. But there's Cotto just laying a beating on him. I mean, that was just a very easy fight for Mayweather. I do remember he got a bloody nose, I believe, from a just Cotto jab. It wasn't because of any significant damage or anything. But guys, I muted that song that just sounded like a pretty ridiculous song to play for Mayweather highlights, so I just muted it. But anyway, hope you don't mind just hearing me and not anything in the background. I don't think they were playing any of the commentary sounds. So there's De La Hoya again. Wow, look at that. He's in the yellow there, and this is an amateur fight, so he's probably about 17 or younger. Now that is a very early fight. I believe he gets this guy with a body shot, maybe. There's one there. Yeah, I think the body shot is what did him in there. And there's Victor Ortiz. He headbutted Mayweather illegally, and then Mayweather took advantage of that because he knew that he was not going to be protecting himself at all times, and he waited until the referee did not break them up, and he jumped on him because he saw an opening. So why would you not take it? Then of course the crowd booed him. Larry Merchant, as always, was getting on Mayweather. Mayweather told him that he don't know shit about boxing, which is absolutely correct. I hated Larry Merchant with a passion. He is the worst commentator in boxing history. So biased towards everybody that he liked and absolutely hateful to people he did not like. And Mayweather was certainly one of them. I could not ever stand Larry Merchant in all my years of watching boxing. So he was always talking about negatives in boxing, never was a positive person unless it was one of the very few fighters that he actually liked. So there's him beating Victor Ortiz. Um, there's Hatton, of course. And I mean, they're just showing some crazy speed and accuracy from Mayweather. And there's Canelo. So he gave Canelo his first loss back in 2013, and that was a dominating win again. And Canelo was very young, of course. He's come a long way since then. Yeah, also, guys, there's Robert Guerrero. A lot of these guys that Mayweather beat, even after he beat them, they would go on to win titles later on, years later, or in other divisions even. So, which made those wins for him look that much better, that much more impressive, that they could come back and do that do their thing again. He just dominated them because that's how much he's above these guys. That's how much better he is than them. So, while they could beat a lot of good fighters, they could never come close to beating him. There's Marcos Maidana. I don't know which, if that's the first fight or the rematch, but again, guys, people thought that he lost that first fight. I mean, he got the wins in all of these. Thank God the judges did get him right, as many times they don't. But the thing is, I think so. What we're used to seeing is Mayweather landing maybe like, I don't know, 12 to 15 punches or so in a round, and the other guys land maybe about 3 to 5 typically. So, and there's the Ortiz fight, and I'll get back into that. I'll give you a rundown of that one. I'll just pause it. But like the Marcos Maidana first fight or the Jose Luis Castillo first fight. So like I say, we're used to seeing Mayweather like win a round by, I would say he probably lands an average of 12 to 15 punches, and his opponents probably land about 5 typically. So in a back and forth fight where he's actually trading with the guy a little more, like Maidana Castillo, they were landing more than other people did. So probably Castillo and Maidana were averaging about 12, maybe 10 to 12 punches around landed against Mayweather. And people are like, oh my God, because we're not used to seeing Mayweather being hit that often, and he doesn't get hit that much in rounds typically. So, you just, oh, he's hitting him more than he's ever been hit before, so he's automatically winning the round, and you don't pay attention to what Mayweather's also doing. And in that case, he's probably landing about 20 or so punches instead of his 12 to 15, which is all he usually needs to land compared to 3 or 5. But if he's trading with the guy, he's also throwing more and he's landing more as well than he usually does. So it's probably like a 20 to 10, 20 to 12, maybe even 20 something to 15 or so. But he's still winning the rounds, guys, and he's still landing the cleaner punches, just not maybe by as wide of a margin. And because he's getting hit more, people just think, oh, well, he's got to be losing the rounds then. I mean, he's getting hit more. This is more than we've ever seen him get hit. So he's losing, and they lose sight of what he's also doing on the other side. So that's my take on how that goes sometimes. You just have to watch the rounds. You have to really pay attention. Boxing can be very tricky sometimes. And if you really don't know the sweet science of it, it's very tricky. But anyway, so this Victor Ortiz fight, he was dominating him. Ortiz, it seems like, landed a few good shots here and there. But yeah, so he deliberately headbutted him. He had Mayweather up against the ropes. He jumped with his head right into him twice. He got him once, the second time, and the referee, of course, warned him. And I remember specifically thinking to myself, Floyd might come out and Floyd Floyd is going to hit him. When I saw him go for the glove touch and everything, I was like, Floyd might get him. He might sucker him in and hit him when he doesn't expect it. And he didn't do that. He touched his gloves with Ortiz and did that, but then as soon as they broke away, he came back with the left hook and then the right hand, or I might have been the straight right and then the left hook. I can't remember. Let me just rewind it because I want to see that. But yeah, Ortiz got absolutely what he deserved completely. He deliberately headbutted him, and you have to take advantage of any opportunity that presents itself at any time. Um, the referee did not tell them to not fight. He said fight. They were in the mode of fighting. The referee was not having a talk with them. He did not call for a break. He told them to fight. Mayweather suckered him in smartly. He tapped the gloves with him, and we'll see it right here. But yeah, he taps gloves with him in just a second, and then he knocks him right there, and then boom, coming out. And Ortiz stupidly looked to the ref after he got hit the first time. You do not do that right there. Boom. Got what he deserved. Absolutely. Looking at the ref. Dumbass. Absolute dumb ass. Protect yourself at all times. Number one rule in boxing. Always protect yourself at all times. Do not ever look to the ref for help. This is another amazing performance, Shane Mosley. Um, so this was Mosley wasn't quite at his best, of course, here, but he was still a very, very good fighter, top fighter still. But Mayweather, this was one that Mayweather beat before Pacquiao. It was the year before the Pacquiao fight for Mosley. But anyway, I remember in the second round, Mayweather got rocked more so than he ever had been. Probably, I don't guess he was hurt, but he really did a big time wobble. Mosley got him with an overhand right, and Mayweather was very uh his legs were very unsteady. So unfortunately for Mosley, that's absolutely the worst thing that could have happened for him, because from that point on, Mayweather took over that fight and dominated the rest of the way. And the reason is because Mosley hit him with his best shot. Mayweather took it. He realized he could took it. I mean, he realized he could take the shot. He could take Mosley's best punch, best shot. That was all he could hit him with. That was as much power as he could get him with, and he took it. Was fine from it. So he was like, "Oh, I got it," and he walked Shane Mosley down the rest of the way. He walked him down. Now, who would have ever thought in that fight that Mayweather would have been the aggressive fighter over Shane Mosley? Shane Mosley was a very aggressive fighter his whole career. And if there was any chance for him to beat Mayweather, that would have been it for him to go after him. But Mayweather walked Mosley down. So I'm sure that confused Mosley, and I'm sure Mosley realized that, I hit him with my best shot. He took it. He's fine. Now he's walking me down. So that was probably very frustrating for Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley, all-time great, absolutely. But again, just no match for Floyd Mayweather. It's unbelievable that he beat these guys so easily, these top fighters of all time. But anyway, guys, that was a highlight video of Mayweather. I know I talked a lot and I paused it, and I apologize for just going on and on. But I see these clips and it just reminds me of so much, and I'm just giving you my memories of Floyd's fights. But anyway, let me know if you want more. Guys, you got to hit that like button. Just please hit the like button and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody you know that likes boxing. Share it with anybody you know that doesn't like boxing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt to share it. And just please leave in the comments what you want next. A boxing highlight video, what fighter, MMA, whatever. Guys, just let me know. I appreciate you watching. Come join the family. God's Mafia. I'm out.